The starship Erebus drifted silently through the vast violet haze of the Lyra constellation. On the bridge, Commander Selene Rho stared intently at the navigation screen, a small frown creasing her brow. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. The star charts showed nothing but empty space, a void between distant suns. But her ship's advanced sensors were picking up faint, pulsing signals, something ethereal, almost like whispers carried on the solar wind. "Something's out there," she murmured, her voice barely a whisper itself, yet it carried across the quiet bridge. Her crew, 10 of the galaxy's most seasoned explorers, felt it too. An uneasy silence, thick with unspoken apprehension, settled over the ship like a shroud. The usual hum of the life support systems and the gentle thrum of the engines seemed to fade, replaced by a growing tension. Then the whispers grew louder. They weren't just signals anymore. They were soft, seductive, and utterly unintelligible sounds that seemed to defy the vacuum of space. The phantom sound crawled along the metallic walls of the Erebus, slithering into their ears, bypassing their coms, and speaking directly to their minds. It was a chilling, intimate intrusion. "We need to find the source," Selene said, forcing a tone of command into her voice that she didn't quite feel. Her heart hammered against her ribs, but fear was a luxury she couldn't afford. The ship altered its course, gliding toward the origin of the mysterious signal. It led them to a rogue planet, a sphere as dark and foreboding as polished obsidian, silently orbiting a dim dying white star. The world was a dead thing, its surface a jagged mess of rock and shadow. Nothing on the scanners looked alive. Yet, as the Erebus drew closer, Selene felt an overwhelming sensation of being watched. She could feel countless eyes on them, peering from every shadow, every crevice on the planet below. It hovered above the desolate planet, a god of madness and starlight, whispering its silent song into the void. The voice that echoed in their heads wasn't made of words. It was pure emotion, it was memory, it was fear, it was desire. Every single crew member heard something different, something deeply personal and profoundly unsettling. A lost love's plea, a parent's disappointment, a rival's mocking laughter. "I am the harmonic one," the voice resonated in their minds. A thought planted directly into their consciousness, though no lips moved. "And you have trespassed into my song." Selene, struggling to keep her composure, tried to establish contact, to reason with the entity. She opened a channel, speaking of peace, of exploration, of a desire for understanding. But the harmonic one had no interest in reason. It wanted something far more intimate. It wanted resonance. Each whisper it sent out was a key, designed to unlock the deepest, most hidden fears within the crew's minds. It tapped into their regrets, their private shamas, their buried lies, and their hidden betrayals. Engineer Kale screamed first. His own voice, twisted into a hateful, accusatory snarl, echoed back at him from the swirling void of the harmonic one's form. The entity was playing his worst memories on a loop, amplifying his guilt into an unbearable crescendo. One by one, the rest of the crew began to succumb. The navigator saw the faces of a past crew he couldn't save, their spectral hands reaching for him. The botanist was suddenly surrounded by the suffocating scent of a toxic flower from a mission gone wrong. They were all trapped in their own private, inescapable nightmares, their minds becoming instruments in the entity's horrific symphony. Selene's own fears began to surface, the memory of a command decision that cost lives, the faces of those she had lost. She fought it back, her training kicking in. She ran to the bridge, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs. Shut it down! Shut down all comms! Cut every signal!" She yelled, her voice raw. But the harmonic one was adaptive. It wasn't just a being, it was a predator of consciousness. It learned their fears faster than they could hide them, evolving its psychological attacks with horrifying speed. It was no longer just about terror. Selene realized with a jolt of ice-cold dread that the entity wanted to compose. It wanted to trap their minds, their very essences, within its cosmic symphony forever, turning their consciousness into eternal, screaming notes in its masterpiece of horror. Desperate, Selene's mind raced through forgotten lore and astronomical legends. The myths of the Lyra constellation. The lost planet of Vale. The legend spoke of a world covered in a vast crystal network. A planetary resonator that could harmonize with the strange energy fields unique to this sector of space. A desperate, insane idea sparked in her mind. If she could reach it, maybe, just maybe, she could fight fire with fire. Fight a song with a song. With the crew catatonic and the ship's systems flickering, Selene wrestled with the controls, piloting the Erebus on a collision course with the nearby rogue planet. She prayed the legends were true. The ship screamed through the thin atmosphere and landed with a bone-jarring crash on the jagged crystalline surface. As she stumbled out onto the obsidian ground, the Harmonic One descended from the heavens, a galaxy of malice condensed into a single, shifting shape of pure madness. Selene ran, her lungs burning, toward the largest crystal formation, a spire of quartz that pulsed with a faint, inner light. She reached it, pressing her hand against its cool, vibrating surface. The crystal hummed, not with an alien frequency, but with a tone that resonated with her own mind, her own being. The insidious whispers of the Harmonic One clashed with the pure, resonant thoughts in her head, creating a violent, chaotic, yet strangely beautiful symphony of mental energy. It was a battle of wills, fought on a psychic plane. With a final, desperate scream that was both vocal and mental, Selene focused all of her willpower, all of her pain, her hope, and her defiance into the crystal. Light exploded outward. A wave of pure, harmonized energy erupted from the crystal spire, shredding the Harmonic One's chaotic field. The living constellation recoiled, twisted in agony, its form destabilizing into a frantic swirl of light and shadow. Then, with a final silent implosion, it vanished, collapsing into a black void and leaving behind only a chilling silence, and a single faintly flickering star where it had hovered moments before. Selene collapsed to the ground, every ounce of her strength gone. Around her, on the ship and on the ground, her crew began to stir, waking as if from a terrible dream, shaken and disoriented, but alive. Lyra's violet haze seemed calmer now. The oppressive sense of dread finally lifted. But Selene knew the Harmonic One was not destroyed. It was only repelled, sent away to the dark corners of the universe. Somewhere out there it waited, learning from its defeat, composing new, more terrifying melodies. And as she looked up at the sea of stars, Selene knew one terrible truth with absolute certainty. Some stars were never meant to sing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tales from the void. Until next time, keep looking up.